Okay. Well, very good morning, guys. Fine. Yeah. Last day, we just stopped at menu creation, right? Yeah, we're creating a menus. We just been learnt about how to set the tab key. How to set the tab key. Second thing, just shown you how to use the shortcut keys. So we just been set the shortcut keys also. Fine. Next. Tiffin ಯಾವ್ದು ಸರಿ ಟಿಫಿನ್ తీసుకురాకు Yeah, we've been talking about adding menus. So, yeah. So just explained you about these two things, guys. How to add shortcuts and as well as how to bind the alt keys. How to bind with the alt keys. Both the two things. Okay. See, suppose you just want to generally when you add a menu item that gets added in the bottom. Suppose you want to add in the middle of that, if you want to add it in the middle, suppose I want to add between save as and exit, I want to add something like what I want to add, like page setup. I just want to add a page setup and print. These are the options I want to add. So that is the case, you can insert menu items in the middle. Right click. Say you want to add between save as and exit, right? I want to add between save as and exit. Okay, between these two I want to add. So right click on exit. You'll be finding an option called insert menu item. So that comes and sits in the middle now. Okay, this is one way you can just do. Our second option is you can even see page setup, print. I'm just adding. After adding it, you can shuffle them also. You can just go for shuffling. You can drag and drop and shuffle the positions. No issues. Is that clear? Okay. Next. Actually, to group related menu items, to group the related menu, what a grouping. You see there, if you look at the menu, like a new, open, clone, like otherwise you come to edit. Undo, redo, undo last global action, redo last global action, cut, copy, paste, delete. Like this, it's not visible on the screen clearly. But if you concentrate on that, there are some horizontal lines there. Screen from the near, if you watch it, it'll be visible because the black I said that it's not visible. But there are some horizontal lines, what we call them as separators. Generally, nothing special about that, but we can group the things, that's all. Actually, new and right now, these are how the menu items are present. I can add separators between each. Between new and open, I want to add a separator. Between new and open, I want to add a separator. Okay, in between open and save. Is that the case? Just now I said you right click on save, insert. There'll be an option called separator. It'll add you a horizontal line there. It'll add you a horizontal line. Can you see that? Yeah, it'll add you a horizontal line like this. Nothing special. This will, you are not going to write any logic here. Just only thing is to make it look a little bit better. That's all. the look will be a little bit improvised. Okay, like this here also, undo, redo, I want to add a separator. And cut, copy, paste. I wanted a separator. I just want to keep adding the separators here. Okay. So like this, separators can be added up over there. Separators can be added up over there. Fine. What next? Yeah. As in Visual Studio Watch, there are menu items. Beside your menu items, can you see them? It will show you some icon images. So a save icon, save all icon. For cut, copy, paste. Yeah. For cut, copy, paste and all icons will be displayed. Images they are. Actually, they're going to be very small images. You cannot use big image. If you use a big image, once it's compressed, it won't look. So basically, the images are going to be very small in size. So we too can do it. We too can do. Suppose I want to add a undo, redo images here, like a cut image, all these images. Yeah, it's possible. How? Right click. You'll find an option directly called set image. Again, project resources, import, and select those on your machine. Actually, I said you don't big images. We just use generally small images for this. The image size is going to be 16 by 16 pixels. 16 by 16 pixels. Yeah. These are the images, guys. Very small images, what we generally use. You want an image for undo, right? Yeah. This is a redo image. Arrow underscore redo. Same way you should also find an undo image. Arrow underscore undo. Undo. Set image. Import. Redo. Cut. So these are all the images, guys. There are so many images. You cannot use the big size images. Actually, I just have all the images on my system, nearly some 1,000 different images, what we generally use in your applications. So let me do one thing. Let me upload you these images, download from the Google Classroom. I'll put them in the Google Classroom. Just download from there. Okay. I just posted the images in the Google Classroom, guys. You can download from there. Okay. There's so many images, nearly some 1,000 images are there, what we generally use in the applications. Undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, save as. All images you'll find, use them. Next. In the notepad, guys, have you noticed that like status bar is there? Order app option are there. You find a checkbox beside them. You find a checkbox beside them. You too can add. For word wrap, I just want to add a checkbox. Right click. You'll find an option called checked. You automatically get a checkbox there. And this checkbox in the runtime, what we expect, right? In the runtime, when I click on this, it should be unchecked. Second time, if I click, it should be checked. Checking, unchecking should work. Okay, checking, unchecking should be working there. So fine. See there, you look at this. Right now it is checked. When I click on this, it should be unchecked, but not working. It's not getting unchecked. It's not working there. Okay. So actually, you need to write the logic for that. How? If word wrap tooltip menu item dot checked means if it is true, word wrap tooltip menu item dot checked is equals to false. Else, simple here, if it is true, I'm making false. If it is false, I'm making true. That's all. I did not write any great logic there. If it is true, make false. If it is false, make true. Watch there. Are you clear? Okay, this is how you add menus to an application. How you are going to add a menu to an application basically. Are you clear? Okay. Now, I have a task for you guys. I have a task for you. What that is, build me an application that works like a notepad. Build me an application that works like a notepad. Just like a notepad, your application also should behave now. How you are using a notepad? Same way. So, I'll give you a rough idea about it. You implement the various, the logic for it. See your original notepad here. Your menus and what is happening there, the same thing has to happen here also. Is that clear? Okay. So first, I have a menu bar. Same way in the bottom, let me add a status bar. Alright, let me add a status bar in the bottom. How? Same process, guys. Just in the menus and toolbars, just like a menu strip, you have a status strip. Status strip is dock bottom. It will come and sit on the bottom of the screen. Status strip is a dock bottom. It will come and sit on the bottom of your screen. It is a dock bottom. Yeah, I have a status bar in the bottom. What should come here? Text box, right? Yes or not? So not a text box, guys. Remember, under the text box family, we have three classes we discussed. Text box, rich text box, mask text box. We also worked with text box and mask text box. One more text box is there. What is that? Rich text box. So adding the rich text box here, go to the common controls. In that, you'll be finding out the rich text box. This is the rich text box. By default, it is a multi-line. Multi-line, guys. It's a multi-line. And also, scroll bars enabled both. If you place a text box, you require to make multi-line scroll bars both, but for this, you don't require. But you want this to the full size of the screen. What should I do? It should increase and decrease the size according to font size. Speak louder, yeah. That's why I'm scolding you every day. Speak louder. I'm scolding, still you are behaving in the same way. I want to get this to the full size of the screen. What to do? Stretch. Stretch is for image here, not for text box. Brainless fellows. What I'm telling and what are you learning? There is a stretch for text box. Stretch is for image. Size? What is the size? Dock property here. I also said you also in Notepad, the text box behaves like this because of the doc property. I don't know why you're coming to the class also. Are you practicing? Really get a doubt on you. You're wasting your parents' money, that's all. See now, this is your text box occupying the full size of the screen. It will automatically respond to the screen size now. That is doc fill. It is a doc fill, not a stretch or something. We just recorded you the doc fill. Yeah, this is the design. So first what you'll place? Menu bar, menu strip. Next, status strip. Then rich text box. And for the rich text box, you're required to make it a doc as fill. Status strip and menu strip, doc top, doc bottom. You don't require to do. For rich text box, you require to do. And now you need to write the logic for that. Suppose if I type something here, and if you go to file menu and click on the save, that should be saved on your hard disk. And how to save, I already explained you with images. Now you're required to write the code with text boxes. You're required to write the code with text boxes. But see, a lot of conditions. Open a original notepad. Type something. Okay, go to file menu. Go to new. What is happening? Verify. What is happening? You know how to launch this message box now? How to write the code for save, don't save. You won't get save, don't save. You'll get yes, no, cancel. If yes, what to write. If no, what to write. If cancel, what to write. Just see what is happening. If you click on save, what is happening? See. If you click on the don't save, what happens? See. If you click on the cancel, what happens? See. So same functionality should be implemented here also. Is that clear? Okay, check it out. I'm just giving an overview. I won't do a spoon feeding for every of these particular things to you. Just think, open the original application. How is it behaving? Check each and every step. Same way, your application also should behave. Understood? Okay. And coming to cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, for this, no need of writing any great logics there. The reason is, directly the rich text box provides all the methods to you. If you go to undo, there's a direct method in the rich text box class. Rich text box 1 dot undo. No need of implementing any logic. Mainly, don't focus on all here. My requirement is, you need to just focus on these things only. New, open, save, save as, exit. Are you clear? New, open, save as, exit. If you are successfully done, the next thing is page setup and print. So how to do page setup and print? See, in the toolbox, you have print dialogues. Printing controls. See, page setup, print. So Google how to use a page setup dialog and how to use a print dialog and try to implement. Is that clear? Okay, Google here, you will get solutions for all the appropriate thing. I just want you to just go for self-learning. Tomorrow you go to the industry, no one will help you there. So just do from now only. Okay, so page setup, how to use. The print dialog, how to use. Just Google, you will get the coding, how to code it. Just use that as a reference and apply the same for these things also. And for this, no need of writing the logic because all the methods are directly available to you. You know how to launch a font dialog and use it? Already explained it. Word wrap. I think yeah, this word wrap, basically, when you select the word wrap, text box has a word wrap property, remember? We already talked on it. Text box also has a word wrap property. By default, it is true. Checkbox is also true. If this is unchecked, the text box word wrap also should be changed as false. If it's checked, text box word wrap also should be changed as true. So the text box default word wrap is true. And the checkbox selected is also true now. When it's unchecked, what are you doing? Checkbox checked false. Same way, word wrap should be false. Again, it is checked. Both should be changed as true. Okay? And status bar. What is this? This also. Make it as checked. By default, this is checked. And also we have a status bar in the bottom. If this is unchecked, you need to make the status bar visible false. Status bar visible false. If it is checked, status bar should come here. It is unchecked. Status bar should be removed from here. Visible false, visible true. Okay, I just given a basic idea about the appropriate things. Take the original notepad, check it out, how is it working, and try to build an application exactly like the same. Tomorrow, you do that, you get a confidence on yourself. When you go to interview also, you can just say what you have done. You can just tell you have built an application just like a notepad. You can put in your resume and also tell, like, in my practice sessions, I just built an application and these are the functionalities what I implemented. You can confidently answer. Okay, so team up yourself. Single person cannot do. 2-3 person sit together and just try to work out of it, because different ideas, different views. Understood? So when you're sitting alone, whatever you get an idea, you think that is right. If 2-3 people sit together, you can understand the merits and demerits of it, positives and negatives, and you get some different ideas. So once you share your knowledge, automatically you can build a perfect logic. Okay, so this is a task for you. So build a application that works like an original notepad. Menus adding, status bar adding, I said you. Design part is clear. Don't use text box. Use what? Rich text box. That's what I'm telling. Okay. Yeah. Next. See, right now we have so many forms in our project. Okay. Actually, yesterday I faced a problem with menus and I just canned for a Windows application. But actually, till now, we have so many forms in the project. I remember this is the 15th form what we created in the project. This is the 15th form what we just created in our project. So many forms are there. Whenever you want to run a form, what are you doing? You're opening the program class. And in the program class, you're just going to specify which form to run. Correct? You're telling which form to run in the program class. But remember, tomorrow, client is not having the source code. So client cannot open the program class, client cannot edit the form name and execute the code. Yes or not? Client cannot set the form name and execute the appropriate code. Client can't do that. Then how the client is going to run this? How the client will be running this code now? Actually, you understand, you see the Visual Studio. Visual Studio is first a form. It's a form that has menus and all the design is done there. Under Visual Studio, suppose if you want to add a new form, you go to File menu, new file, something. You select a new file. A new file window comes to you. From there, you can select a file now, like a form. Also, we can select anything, a text file or HTML file. You can select whatever you want. Correct? If you go for add new item, from here you can just select a new Windows form. It can be selected and added. If you want to add a new project, go to File menu, New Project. You can add a new project. Are you clear? My point is not about adding a new file or a new project or a new form. Understand here, whenever I select them, did you notice a new form is getting opened? Every time I select that, a new form is getting opened there. See, Tools menu, Options. A new form is opened. Tools menu, Customize. So every time you click, a new form is getting opened. So basically always there will be only one form in the project which will be always active here. The rest of the forms gets opened or launched based on your selections. The rest of the forms gets opened based on your selections. You make a selection based on the selection, the other forms gets opened. So this is the root form. Under that, the rest of the other forms gets open to you. We call this as a multi-document interface. We call this concept as a multi-document interface. This is basically called as a multi-document interface actually. So what exactly is this multi-document interface means? That's what. There'll be one form is a main form first, and the main form is called as an MDI parent. The main form is called as a MDI parent. We call that as an MDI parent. Okay. Now, under that MDI parent, under that particular MDI parent, you will be having one more thing called under that one MDI parent, and remaining all the forms are called as MDI children. Did you understand me? The first one is called as a MDI parent, and rest of the other are called as MDI children. Okay. So the first form, what is open for you? The first form, what is open for you, is basically the MDI parent form. And inside of the rest of the other forms are called MDI children. How many MDI parents will be there? One only. Remaining all are MDI children. Okay. Suppose, generally what we do, generally the first form of the project will make it as an MDI parent. The first form of the project will make it as a MDI parent, so that rest of the other forms are going to be MDI children. How do we do that? We did not make the first form as an MDI parent. So for that reason, let me add a new form, guys. I'm adding a new form. Okay, I'm adding a new form. I want to make it as an MDI parent. So how to make? By default, it is an MDI child. So I want to make it an MDI parent. To make it an MDI parent, go to the properties. You'll find a property called is MDI container. Means it is a parent. Container. It's a container for other forms now. So that's what is MDI parent. Default is it's not a container. It's a children now. It's a child now. So make it as true. Once you make it true, guys, automatically the background color changes and also the form will have a 3D look. You have width, height, depth also. If you concentrate on it, you can see grooving around. You'll get the grooving. Why? The child form should come and sit inside of it now. Okay. So this is an MDI parent now. Just a minute. I am setting some font size. Yeah. Now, as we did not do that, while creating this only, I want to just name it there. Give some name. For a better understanding, I'm giving it as the MDI parent. I'm calling this as a MDI parent. Okay, now? And now, MDI parent, for this, just want to give a caption. I want to give a caption. Your application name, you're building an application for something, that application name will be generally a caption. Suppose you are just creating a healthcare application. Okay, somewhere a name for you. I'm calling a healthcare pro. Maybe that's my application name. So generally that application name will be the title. Is that clear? Now, this is the main form. When I run this, I want to launch this. Always this only should be launched. So open the program class, and in the program class specify that form name now. Okay, you specified this name. No need to edit the program class again now. No need to edit the program class anymore. So when I run this, always what will run? The MDI parent runs. Yeah, this is the MDI parent. And when I run this, actually my intention is I want this to be launched to the full size of the screen. I want this to be launched to the full size of the screen. I want it to be full size of the screen. At the time of launching, it should be full size of the screen. Okay, full size of the screen. If you want to launch the full size of the screen, how do you launch? You can just set up the property, guys. What property? Windows state maximized. Last class we saw, na? Windows state maximized. We can set the Windows state as maximized. Once you set the Windows state as maximized, it will be coming to the full size of the screen. Yeah, I did not set it still. Scaling is applying of. Okay. Yeah, what you'll do? Go to properties and set the window state property as maximized. So this should be my first form to launch. Okay, now after launching, the rest of the form should be a children now. The rest of the form should be children. How to make them as children? How to make that as a children now? Listen. To launch the other form, see, you want to launch a new project, or you want to add a new project, or you want to add a new item or a new file. What are you doing? You are selecting a menu item now. Array, each menu item is launching a new form now. I too will do the same thing. I will add a menu bar, a menu strip. I'm adding a menu strip. And for the menu strip, I'm just adding forms, something here. And here, I want to launch the forms now. Form 1, form 2. Just give some meaningful names just to make it normal. I just named it like form 1, form 2, form 3 like this. Right now, we don't have form 1, form 2, form 3. Form 1 is there. Form 2, form 3 are not there. Let me add. Add a new form. If we have worked with our old project, their menu creation problem is coming. That's why just there we have already 15 forms there. MDA parent, I can launch all the 15 forms. Okay. So here I'm adding form 2. To understand is a separate form. Let me change the background color for this. Yeah, these are two separate forms now. This is form 2, this is form 3. Okay, already we have form 1. Already we have form 1 here, I'll use the same. Form 1 is already present now, I'll use the same. You can set up your own sizes here, no issue with the sizes. I'm just trying to create some settings, some sizes. You, according to the requirement, you will put the size. There are no limitation like you're required to put this size or that size. Your requirement based on that sizes will be varying. Okay, okay. Right now we have 3 forms now. And apart from that, we have the MDA parent form. Apart from that, the MDA parent form is there. Fine, guys. Under that, when I click on this one, what should launch? Form 1 has to launch. Very simple code here. Every form is a class, correct? Create the instance of the class. Okay, then we have a method f dot show. F dot show. Just call the method. What is the method? F dot show. When you call f dot show, you see now, this is the MDA parent. Launched now. That only happen when I say add new item or add new something. When I select a new window, is getting open to you. So now also, it is the same thing what happened to you. Okay. But right now, guys, this one, what is that? The form what we just used here, actually, it is not going to be an MDI child. It's not a child form. Not a child form. Launched na, yeah, it is launched, but it is not a child form still. Still, it is not a child form. What is it? Still, it is not a child form. In the sense, run this child, MDI parent. What is the other name? MDI container. It is also called as MDI container. Observe it. I'm launching form 1. Form 1 opened. But form 1, you notice it is coming outside of the main form. Form 1 is coming out of the main form now. Are you clearer or not? But that should not come out of the main form. It should be inside of the main form. Should not come out of the main form. That's what I'm telling you. It is not still a child. It is only launched as a subform. That's all. Then how to make it as a child form, sir? One more line. F dot. F means form 1. MDI parent. Means you're required to tell who is the MDI parent for form 1. Who is the MDI parent for form 1? Who is the MDI parent for form 1? MDI parent only. That name is also MDI parent. And you're writing code also in MDI parent only. Alright, this is the child. This is the parent for form 1. So notice the difference, all of you. Form 1 opens and is a child form now. What is this child form? Watch it. You can't bring it outside. You notice the difference between the two? It is a child form. Generally, if you minimize anything, comes and sits in the status tray, na? Yes or not? But here, guys, watch it. If you minimize this, if you maximize also, see it is inside of that only. Watch it. Okay, if you minimize, that will come and sit inside of the parent only. That won't come to status tray. Did you notice? Where is it? It is not in the status tray. It is inside of the parent form. So this is called as a MDI parent architecture. MDI, multi-document interface. It's a multi-document interface, what we just have. Are you clear? Same way, can you launch the remaining forms now? Form 2, Form 3. So if you want to achieve it, first you're required to make the first form as an MDI parent. When you make this MDI parent only, remaining all will be MDI children. Okay, same code, guys, copy. Paste in all the 3 places. But this is Form 2 and this is Form 3. Okay, run. Form 1. Okay, all of you watch it. Right now, you just say Form 2. At a time, all the 3 forms are launching now. See, till now you're opening only 1 form. But now 4 forms are running at a time now. Are you clear? So generally what happens? The user goes to a menu, selects the form what he wants. And whatever form he wants, he will work with that and he will close it and open another form. That only happening right now. You add a new item, opens it, you'll just work with it. Same way, add new project, another window is opening. Or options, another window is opening. Every time a new window is opening now. That's how the forms are opened. Okay? Now look, when you minimize, all these 3 will be in the bottom of the parent only, guys. See. Clearer, huh? All 3 are in the bottom of the parent. They won't go to status tray. Who will go to status tray? The MDI parent will go to status tray. If I minimize, that will go to the status tray. Under that, the remaining 3 are going to be child forms. Point clear? Say, when there are multiple forms, how many forms are there? Multiple forms. The way how the multiple forms are arranged, how these multiple forms are arranged in the parent, how these are arranged in the parent is basically depends upon a layout. When the multiple child forms open, how the child forms are arranged in the parent form, depends upon a layout. There is a layout actually. Based on the layout only, the child forms gets added to the parent. Based on the layout only, the child forms gets added to the parent. Actually, there are three layouts here. One is vertical layout, horizontal layout, and cascade layout. What is vertical layout? Three forms are open now. If the layout is vertical, the three forms will be side by side. The three forms will be side by side. Horizontal. If I say horizontal, one below the other, top and bottom. Third option is cascade. What is cascade? What you are seeing now is cascade. What you are seeing now is cascade. One on the top of the other. One on the top of the other. That's the default layout. That is the default layout. What we call it as cascade layout. Okay. So observe it. Generally, what layout will I use, sir? That depends on your requirements, guys. That depends upon your requirement. Tomorrow, I have two forms here. Something comes in the left-hand side. Suppose I'm creating an application for an examination. In the left-hand side, the question paper will be there. In the right-hand side, the answer sheet. You're required to look and read the questions in the left and write the answers in the right. In that case, side by side. What I'll use a vertical layout now? Depends here. All will not use the same layout. Depending on the application, we'll be having different layouts. So generally what we do, when we are designing an application, at the time of designing only, we'll fix the layout and go with it. But right now, which layout is feasible means it depends on the application. So I'll do one thing. I'll show you how to set this layouts dynamically in the runtime. Let us change the layouts dynamically in the runtime. How to do it? I'm adding a new menu item here. What is that? Layout. So what are the layouts I have? Cascade is the default layout, guys. Horizontal. And vertical. These are the three layouts. Apart from these three, I'm also adding one more option here called as arrange icons. Arrange icons, it's not a layout. I'll tell you what is it, but four options I added. What are the four? Arrange icons, cascade, horizontal, vertical. Okay. Now I want to implement the logic for all this. Yeah. Now when I say vertical, the default is cascade now. The layout should change to vertical. Layout of whom? Parent or child? Layout is for the parent, layout is for the child. No, parent. Why? A child doesn't have layout here. Based on the parent layout, child will come and sit there now. You see? Land has a layout, building has a layout. Land has the layout, not the building. Are you clear? So here also, parent should have the layout, not the child. In the parent's layout, child will come and sit there. Okay, so the layout should be set for whom? Parent. And don't forget, you're writing the code also in the parent only. All this code is implemented in parent only, not in the child. Okay, so what do you say? This dot. There is a method called layout MDI. Okay, and here you're required to set a layout. What layout? Any of the four layouts. And all the four layouts are listed for you under one enum. Under one enum. What is the enum? MDI layout is the enum, and under that you have the four options. See. Tile vertical, cascade, tile horizontal, arrange icons. So what I'm choosing now? Tile vertical. Here, tile horizontal, cascade, arrange icons. I'm setting all the four. Okay, run. So observe what exactly is that. I open two forms here. Okay, now I'll go here and I'll just say vertical. horizontal cascade. Is that clearer? Vertical, horizontal, cascade. Okay. So like this, it is just going to chill. So what is it? Arrange icons. Arrange icons is not a layout. Arrange icons is not a layout. What is arrange icons then? Watch. I'm minimizing all the three. Really, it's not an important thing at all. I'm minimizing all the three. Can you see all the three in the bottom of the screen now? So this is form 3. This is form 2. This is form 1. Check. Clearer? I pull like this now. I pulled like this into the middle. Now, if I just go to the menu again, and if I say arrange icons, all are again arranged for you in the bottom. That's all. Nothing special with that. Is that clear? That's all. That's not a layout. It'll arrange the icons in the bottom of the screen. That's all. That's not a layout. So like this, it is just going to adjust everything for you in the bottom. So whenever we are building an application, what do? We create a project. After creating the project, by default, the project contains one form. Na? That form is made as an MDA parent. That form is made as a MDA parent. So how do you make it an MDA parent? We'll set the property is MDI container true. Second thing, maximized. We'll set it as maximized to full screen. Windows state is maximized. Like this, whatever properties you want, you set all the properties for the parent form now. Now you start designing the rest of the forms. Now every form will come and launch under the MDA parent. Now tell me, do I need to work with the program class like the, if I follow this architecture, do I need to work with the program class? No need to open the program class at all. Why? By default, form 1 name is present in program class, and that is my MDA parent. Always what will run? Program will start the MDA parent. That will launch the rest of the forms. Now tell me, do you need to edit it? Does the client require to edit it? No need. Are you clear? So that will be the way how you build your applications in the real time. Okay, so you can read it later. So this is about the multi-document interface, what I just been explained for you over there, the multi-document interface. Okay, so if you just notice that, what's the multi-document? Afterwards, what are the layout? The 4 layouts we have. And then how to launch it. Add menus here. Under all the menu items, under all the menu code is same only. I shown for one, copy paste and implement for the other. And the 4 menu items. Are you clear? The 4 menu items, this is going to the code. Arrange icons, cascade, tile vertical, and tile horizontal. Okay now. And here guys, for your understanding, I given the about the rich text box class also. This control works same as text box, but provides advanced text entry and editing features such as character and paragraph formatting. What is the difference is text box. I already said you guys, text box. If you set a font that applies to the whole text, but rich text box will provide you individual paragraph formatting. Individual paragraph formatting. It's a WordPad, guys. In a WordPad, what we see is the rich text box. And I listed you the important properties and methods for you. Here are the properties. You know, back color, fore color, word wrap. You know all these properties. You know all these properties, scroll bar, selected, selection colors. We can just set all these things. And important methods to you. I already shown you. You don't require to write the code for cut, copy, paste, and all methods are ready. Cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, clear, undo, select all. All methods are the reset, refresh. Yeah. For saving the file, this is the method for you. What is that? Sorry. For opening the file, this is the method. What is the method? Load file. For saving the file, this is the method. For picture box, you remember? For picture box to load an image, picture box 1 dot image location is equals to, we give the path. But here you should call what? Load rich text box, you should call what? For saving there, remember picture box 1.image.save. Here, you need to call this method. That R&D is what I'm asking you to do it. I listed you the members. How can you call these members? How can you use these members? You just apply that. Try that. Okay, now? So just try to use all these properties and methods for designing the Notepad application, what I asked you to do. Okay, now? Fine. Next. The next topic, guys. Till now, what did we do? We have just been consumed many controls that Microsoft has given to us. We have consumed many controls that Microsoft has given to us. So many controls are given to us by Microsoft, and we have consumed up all those controls. Okay? But see, tomorrow, the existing controls here, the existing controls may not be matching up your requirements. The existing controls may not be matching up your requirements. Or sometimes you may also want to customize the existing controls. Customize the existing control. There is a text box. What text box accepts? Everything. Alphabets, numerics, special characters, everything it accepts. But I want a text box to accept only numerics. I want a text box to accept only numerics. So understand, two types of requirements. One, existing controls are not matching your requirements. You want something new. For example, I want a stop clock in my application. I want a stop clock in my application. But unfortunately, stop clock is not available to you. Unfortunately, stop clock control is not available. We don't have a stop clock control available. We don't have. But I want it in my applications. I need it. So I can develop it now. I can develop it now. Okay. So user controls. What is the user controls? Is a concept of developing our own controls. Is a concept of developing our own controls. Till now, we are consuming the controls given by Microsoft, and now we are developing our own controls basically. There are so many companies in the industry who develops controls and sells them in the market. Sells them in the market. Actually, one very popular company called as Telerik. The company name is Telerik, guys. Telerik. Yeah, this is the company, the Telerik, Telerik.com. If you see, it will provide you, it will give you controls for various applications. We are developing desktop applications. If you go there, it will provide you the desktop components for you. Yeah. Windows. For the Windows UI or WinForms. WinForms is new. Means this is for core, guys. This is framework. Framework components. Nearly 140 plus controls are available here. What we are using is only less. There are so many controls that it provides to you, and you can just use all these controls. Same way, it will provide you mobile controls to you. It will provide you web controls. See, web components. If you go to web components, for ASP.NET Core, for MVC, for ASP.NET MVC. So like this, we just have so many controls. These are Angular controls. These are jQuery controls, Vue.js controls, Blazor controls. Like this, number of different various controls are provided to you, and you can just make use of all those controls in your applications. Okay. So same way, but you require to purchase them. Suppose tomorrow you want some control. You can see, if you have time, you can only develop of the control. If you have time, you can only develop your control. Okay. So you can develop controls, or you can purchase and consume the controls developed by someone. Someone develops it, so you can purchase them and you can use those particular controls in your applications. Is it clearer or not? Okay, these are the two different options that are available for us. Purchase or develop. So when you are developing, when do we develop a control? When do we develop a control? Generally, we develop a control, guys, basically in two scenarios. We generally develop controls in two scenarios. What are the two scenarios we generally develop the controls means? The first scenario, the existing controls are not as per our requirements. Sorry. The existing controls are not matching my requirements. Not matching. Just now I said, I want a stop clock. For my applications, I want to use a stop clock. But unfortunately, Microsoft doesn't give us a stop clock now. It doesn't give you a stop clock. So because it doesn't give a stop clock, I wanted to develop it on my own now. Understood? I want to develop it on my own now. Okay. So that is one type of requirement. Second thing is, you have some control, but you want to customize it. Take a text box. Text box accepts anything in it, but I want the text box to accept only numerics. So that's what we do, customization. There we don't design a text box again. What do we do? Customization. These are the two options that are available to you for creating controls. What are the two? Look, guys. You're creating a new control from existing control. Second option, inherited or extended controls. Student, what is creating a new control? That's what stop clock I said here. I want to design a stop clock. I'm going to completely design it, making use of some existing controls. Second option, inherited, means we don't design anything. We will only customize. We will change the existing behavior. Like this, two different options that we have here. Creating new controls from existing controls, and second one, inherited or extended controls. Are you people clearer or not? Understood? These are the two different options that are available to you for developing controls in your applications. Okay, for developing the controls. Okay, fine. So next, listen, if we're going forward, I just want to clarify you one thing. Actually, people working on controls are divided into two categories. People working on controls are divided into two categories. What are the two categories? We call them as component developers and application developers. Who is a component developer? The one who develops controls are known as component developers. Microsoft is a component developer. Just now I shown you one company, Telerik. Telerik is a component developer. What will they do? They develop the controls. Who is the second one? Application developer. Who are application developers? We are application developers. What are we doing, guys? We are making use of the controls that are provided by Microsoft or Telerik, and we are building applications now. Are you clear? We are not developing, we are making use of the controls and we are developing the applications. So what are we? We are called as application developers or component consumers. Application developers are component consumers. Did you catch my point? So two things. One is component developer, the one who develops the controls. Second one, who is the application developer? The one who develops applications making use of the controls is called as I designed a registration form. I'm an application developer here. I made use of all the controls and designed a registration form now. So I am a application developer. Sometimes an application developer can also become a component developer and build controls. Sometimes an application developer can also become a component developer. See, frankly, till yesterday or till now, I am purely application developer. But now I want to play the role of a component developer also. Means I want to develop some controls and consume in my applications now. So I'm now going to play the second role. What is the second role? Component developer. But till now, Microsoft given me, I consumed. But now I am going to develop the controls on my own. So I'm also playing the second role of a component developer for building my applications. Is it clear? Okay. Now, As a component developer, I can build controls in two varieties. One is creating a new control from existing control. Second one, inherited or extended controls. The second option is going to be inherited or an extended control. Okay, now look guys, in the first case, we design a control. For example, look at this, all of you. I want to develop a stop clock. And do you remember every control is a class now? Yes or not? Then stop clock also should be a class only now. So public class, just like we have a class called text box. Now I have a new class called stop clock. Okay. And now see, you want to design a stop clock. You need a container for designing now. What do you want? You want a text box to show the time. Start button, stop button, reset button. You're required to place all the buttons also now. Understood? So to design this, do you need a container or not? Till now, what is your container? Form is your container. Till now, what is your container? Form. But what are you developing now? You're developing a control. Understand carefully. You're developing a control. Can you consume a control directly? No, I cannot consume a control directly. Every control should finally come and sit on the form. Can you use a text box directly? Yeah. You need to take the text box, put it on the form and use it. So tomorrow my stop clock also I cannot directly use. If I want to use my stop clock, what should I do? I need to bring it, put it on the form and use. Are you clear? So till now, what is your container? Form. But here, I cannot use the container as a form. Right, till now, how do you make your container your form? Your class inits from form and that's the container for designing. But here, this is invalid. Why this is invalid? If this is form, I cannot place this on a form again now. If this is only form, how will you place it on the form now? Okay, you can't use this. You're required to use the different thing called, that is the container. User control. What is it? It just looks like a panel here. No borders, minimize, maximize, all those things won't be present. See, if I use form, here also we have minimize, maximize, close buttons. When you place it on another form, there also minimize, maximize, close. Here also minimize, maximize, close. It's wrong now. It's a control, that's all. So you need something like a panel. So user control is a container which works like a panel. So if you want to design a form, parent is form. Till now you design forms only. But now you want to design a form or controller. Parent is user control. That is a parent. What to do now? What to do, guys? First step. Step 1. Design the control. What is designing the control? Yeah, place a text box, buttons, all the designing work should be done first. Okay. Second, write behavior for the control. What is the behavior? When you click on the start button, something should happen. When you click on the stop button, something should happen. When you click on the reset button, something should happen. That is the behavior now. Okay. Third, define all the required properties, methods, and events. What's it? Every control is associated with the 3 things. What are 3 things? Properties, methods, events. Now you are developing a control, right? For your control also you require necessary properties, necessary methods, and necessary events. You're required to define all these 3 things now. Are you clear? Okay, so this is what exactly you need to do. Read this, all of you. In the first case means read. And below that, the example is given to you. Parent is, you're the control. What is the second option? Remember, here we're not designing a control. We are only customizing some existing control. Remember, I have a text box. Text box accepts anything in it. But now I want the text box to accept only numeric values. So what I'll do? Watch. Public class. And I am using inheritance here. Once you define a class, inheriting from a class, automatically the behavior of the old class copies to the new class now. So numeric text box is also a text box. What you'll do here? Write logic for accepting only. Did you understand? Write the logic for accepting only numerics. So in this case, I did not inherit from a user control. Why? I don't require to design anything. I'm not going to change the design, guys. Design is same only. I want to only change the behavior for the control. Read. So we define a class that is inheriting from the control. Which control? Right now text box. Which you want to add the new behavior for the from that control. Tomorrow you can inherit from a button and design a new button now. Are you clear? You can design a button inheriting from a button now. Anything is possible. Okay. So like this, we are just going to write the logic. Did you understand the two options now? Yes or not? See, if you want to design a control, suppose you want to design a control from an existing control. You want to design a control from a existing control. If this is the case, what you're required to do, in your project, all of you, you need to add a new item. Watch it carefully. You need to add a new item called user control. What's it? A reusable Windows form control. What is this? Actually, guys, you add a class. You'll get a blank class. You add a form. You get a class inheriting from form. That is also class only. Don't forget, but inheriting from form. You add this. You get a class inheriting from user control class. See, for example, I'm adding you here a class called stop clock. And hit enter. You see there is a container here, blank container for designing now. There is a blank container for designing. This is just a container. See, no minimize, maximize, nothing in there. Blank container came and telling you, yeah, start your designing. And all of you go and observe in the code view. Understood or not? Suppose, for example, if I change here as form, and go to design, there is a form now. Is that clear? This is going to be a form. But here, if I just use user control, see now, blank container, no minimize, nothing. So now you can design it now. Place one text box to display the time. Place buttons, start button, stop button, reset button, all the buttons, and also add a timer control. You require to write the logic with the timer only now. When you click on the start button, the time should be incrementing. Stop button should stop. Reset button, everything should be reset. That's all the behavior what you require to write. Okay? But guys, if at all you want to build a control in the second one, what is the second option? Here, what you do, you'll be adding a class. Not a form. What you should add? Class. I'm adding a class, a normal class. What is the name? Numeric text box. Suppose numeric text box. It's a class. Now inherit this class from text box. Inherit this class from text box. Error coming because of the namespace. System dot Windows dot. Now write the behavior there so that this is going to work like a numeric text box now. Are you clearer? I'm going to show you both these two examples to you. One is a stop clock and one is a numeric text box. Stop clock, we have designing. There I'll show you designing, writing the logic, defining properties, defining methods, defining events, all those things. And then we'll also develop a numeric text box. And in the numeric text box, we will write the logic to accept only numeric values so that in the future, if you want to take a numeric values without placing a text box and writing the logic again, directly you can place a numeric text box on the screen now. Is the point clear, all of you? So this is our plan of action. This is going to be our plan of action, what we are going to do now. Okay? But one thing I'll tell you. You're developing some controls. These controls have reusability. Can I use in the same project or can I use these controls in other projects also? Other projects also. Basically, when we develop a control means we can use them in other projects also. So my suggestion is, don't develop controls under your existing project. For developing controls, always create a separate project. So here I added and shown you now. But why I'm not suggesting, this is wrong here. Why I'm not suggesting is tomorrow 30-40 forms are there. Under that you developed a stop clock. You can use the stop clock, numeric text box in other projects also. When you want to consume, what you'll do, you'll add a reference. When you add a reference, this assembly will go and sit there. This assembly will go and sit in the project. Along with this stop clock and rich text box, all the forms also will come there. Arey, why? You want only controls. You don't want forms. So that's why better what you do is take a separate project and in the separate project develop all your controls. If you develop all your controls in a separate project, it will be easy for consuming the controls in multiple projects. Is it clearer or not? So this is a wrong way. I am not going to do it like this. So tomorrow I'll create a complete new project and inside the project, I will develop and design all the controls. And finally, what I'll do, I'll come back to this project and consume the controls from here. Is that clear? The new project, what I'm going to create is only for developing the controls, not for consumption. Consumption, what I'll do? I'll come back to this project only and I will consume all the controls from this location. I hope it is clear what I'm telling you. Understood all of you? So that is going to be our plan of action. We will develop and consume the controls here. Tomorrow we'll work with two projects. One project, the development of the controls, and the second project, consumption of the controls. I'll show you both these two things. Is that clear? Let's stop here. We'll meet tomorrow.